The story begins with a man who was killed by a demon and then reincarnates in another world. Then he sees his skills and realizes he can absorb anyone's skills after eating them. He thinks he reincarnates as a behemoth. After that, we see a hot chick elf girl today's day and goes to a dungeon. After that, when that man sees his face, he realizes he is reincarnated as a cat with extraordinary skills. Then he sees a demon, Lord Rimuru. From that time, I got reincarnated as a slime and decides to eat him and absorb his skills. After eating him, he gets infinite storage and decides to kill more creatures. He attacks a wyvern, kills it, and eats it. After that, he sees an anaconda that is bigger than mine.
What did he say?
And kills it and eats it. Then we see Arya-chan riding on a boat, and a sailor is enjoying the view from the top, imagining about Arya-chan. She reaches near a dungeon and shows her gold card, but the soldier is dreaming of looking at her pink card. On the other side, after killing the anaconda, the cat sees a treasure chest and gets excited because in his previous life, he didn't find any. He opens the treasure chest and finds a transport crystal that teleports him to a dragon. The creature starts saying, I sentence you to death, and starts attacking. The cat fights back, but the dragon can't get any damage. The dragon says, you are weak, and cat flies using his skill called Aether Edge. The cat starts thinking, just a little further, I will be free, but suddenly faints. Then we see Arya-chan enter the dungeon and see the fainted cat. She reaches there to help him. The cat wakes up and feels strange about where he is and thinks he should have died in the dungeon. A lady moves closer to the cat and is happy he woke up. The cat wonders who the lady is and if he is in heaven. The lady introduces herself as Arya-chan and starts talking to the cat about how she met him while going into the dungeon on a quest. He has not even eaten since he reincarnated because monsters do not have much appetite. He is given kitty milk and he goes ahead to drink it. He promised to serve and protect his lifesaver as a true knight. The cat ran towards the way his master went. He decided to look after that girl and make Arya his master because she saved his life and decided to go with her without Arya noticing. Only E-rank goblins appeared to attack. Arya-chan stood up and fought the goblins. The cat marveled at how his master fought with the knives. Then suddenly, one goblin started attacking from behind, but thanks to her cat, who saved her with his power, Arya-chan was surprised and wondered why the cat came to the dungeon and also how she was saved by him. She thought the cat was no ordinary cat. As he expected, his master caressed him and thanked him for saving her. He felt so relieved as he was placed on her juicy melons, and he got angry when a man stopped them. The man, who was an S-rank adventurer, invited Arya-chan to join his party and was trying to flirt with her. But Arya-chan turned him down, saying she was not interested in joining a party with a man. He kept pushing further with his dirty game, and that pissed off the jealous cat, who cursed the man looking at her with filthy eyes. Then the cat started attacking him and bit the man. The angry man got upset and moved ahead to kill the cat, but he was stopped by the guild's receptionist, Anna-san, who was an X-rank adventurer. The man lied to Anna-san, saying he was just showing off his sword and ran away out of fear. Anna-san noticed the cat seemed promising and looked like a knight. Arya-chan told her the cat was her friend and had saved her when she was attacked earlier by a goblin in the dungeon. Arya-chan announced she would officially raise the cat as her pet from today on, and she named him Tama-chan. The cat, whose name is now Tama-chan, was happy he would be able to accompany his master without hesitation. Arya-chan invited Tama-chan for a bath, and he felt it was absurd for a proud knight like him to bathe with a female, but he did not have a choice. After all, he is his master's knight, and he needs to stay close to her in case anything happens. Arya-chan asked Tama-chan if she would ever become strong again and told him the story of how she was attacked by demonic troops years ago in the country where she used to live. It was then that the Master Fencer appeared. Tama-chan remembered he had heard about the Master Fencer and how he saved the entire country alone before and had always wished to be like him. Tama-chan then made a promise that day to his master to protect her until the day she achieved her ambitions. A little while after bathing, when they got to the Adventure Guild, she told them that it was not the right time because the man had just brought bad news to her. The bad news was that Tama-chan would be slain for injuring the Baron's son. Tama-chan immediately thought of running away to avoid being slain, but he still could not leave his master because of the vow he had made to her. The man told him the only solution was to have a duel with him, and if she won, the decree would be revoked and he would take her as a wife. I, as an editor, always knew this filthy man's eyes were always on my area's juicy melons. Tama-chan felt so bad that he could not protect his master and promised to make the man pay for making his master cry. The duel began between the D-rank adventurer and Arya-chan. The man told Arya-chan to surrender as her cat was powerless and her moves were too simple. He wanted to attack her with a knife, but Tama-chan jumped into the scene and saved his master from getting stabbed. His only duty is protecting his master with his life. While the fight was going on, Tama-chan got hurt, and the man told Arya-chan that it would have been avoided if only she had accepted to be his wife. Tama-chan told his master not to surrender as he would do everything to save her. He would have to use a non-magical skill, but he would be found out if he did that. All of a sudden, Tama-chan used one of his skills, Iron Shield, and the man suddenly went flying and landed on the floor. Arya-chan was confused if it was Tama-chan that did that, and in the end, she was able to defeat the man. Arya-chan was declared the winner, and she thanked Tama-chan for saving her. On the other hand, she scolded him and warned him not to do something dangerous like that next time. Anna-san told Arya-chan that the skill Tama-chan used at the end was so strong that he thought he was a monster, but he thought he had come across an elemental cat with racial skills that understand human language and emotion. After that, they went to their home and slept together. The cat was happy. The next morning, Ara attempted to cuddle Tama out of bed. However, the playful kitten decided to nibble on her ear, leaving her blushing uncontrollably. As a former honorable knight, Ara quickly felt awkward and tried to stop the situation, but Tama jumped off the bed to avoid further embarrassment. Ara called after him, her tone filled with longing, making the situation even stranger. Later, Ara decided to take Tama to the blacksmith's shop to visit her friend Vulcan. The moment they arrived, Vulcan's attention was immediately drawn to the adorable kitten. Unable to take her eyes off Tama, Vulcan eagerly asked to hold him. Tama looked thrilled as Vulcan admired his cuteness. However, Ara quickly shifted the focus to the reason for their visit. She needed Vulcan to craft armor for Tama. Delighted by the idea, Vulcan eagerly began taking Tama's measurements, promising Ara she would create the perfect armor for him. As Vulcan worked, Ara whispered to Tama, asking if he was ready for an adventure. Tama's tail flicked with excitement as he agreed without hesitation. In under 10 minutes, Vulcan presented a masterpiece of armor for Tama. The fit was perfect and he looked stunning in it. However, Vulcan admitted she was struggling with another issue, Ara's sword. Despite reforging it over 100 times, she hadn't been able to make it any lighter, making it difficult for Ara to wield effectively. After some thought, Vulcan suggested forming a temporary party to observe Ara's swordsmanship in action and understand the problem better. The team descended into the dungeon, where Vulcan quickly demonstrated her strength by smashing through the hideous goblins they encountered. Ara watched with pure excitement, marveling at Vulcan's boldness and power. Even Tama was impressed by her fearless and versatile skills, especially when she blocked a fireball attack using an ability derived from her smithing talents. Vulcan explained that her power allowed her to wrap her armor in different elemental attributes, making her a formidable fighter. As the path cleared, Vulcan encouraged Ara to take the lead with her sword. Their next challenge turned out to be a grotesque, oversized orc. Ara attacked with her acceleration skill, but the orc skillfully blocked her strikes. Tama quickly stepped in, activating his iron body technique to shield Ara from an incoming blow. Seizing the moment, Ara delivered a decisive strike, taking the orc down. Vulcan observed Ara's movements closely and realized the longsword hindered her battle flow. Ara, dissatisfied with her performance, requested an even tougher challenge to push her limits and grow stronger. Descending further, the team encountered a swarm of slimy, perverted ropers instead of massive beasts. Tama grew anxious, warning Ara to avoid their sticky tendrils. Ara charged in with her acceleration skill, but the ropers' speed made them tough opponents. One shattered her heavy sword, leaving her defenseless. Just as she was about to be ensnared, Vulcan hurled a knife toward her. Ara caught it mid-air and drove it into the roper's core, killing it instantly. Realizing that daggers suited her far better than the heavy longsword, Ara shifted her fighting style, slicing through the ropers with unmatched speed. Vulcan was stunned, impressed by Ara's incredible efficiency. After the battle, Ara confided in Vulcan about her childhood idol, a knight who inspired her to wield longswords. Despite dedicating years to mastering the weapon, she decided to embrace her newfound strength with daggers. Tama reassured her, promising that this change would only make her stronger. As the team rested near a philosopher's stone, Ara was lost in thought, recalling painful memories of her childhood when her home was attacked by demons. Vulcan noticed her pensive mood and gently asked if something was wrong, but Ara quickly changed the subject. During their downtime, Tama splashed around in a nearby pool, carefree and happy. They celebrated their newfound partnership with cheers and drinks, enjoying their camaraderie. The next morning, Ara and Tama encountered two thugs harassing a young girl in town. Ara intervened, scaring the thugs away. She comforted the girl and took her to a local church where nuns cared for orphans. Tama admired Ara's kindness and vowed to support her even more. That evening, Arnold the guildmaster congratulated Ara on her promotion to C rank, handing her a gleaming new pendant. However, their celebration was interrupted by news of mysterious disappearances in a nearby town. Whispers of demons being involved caught Ara's attention. Driven by her grudge against demons, she declared her intention to accept the emergency quest without hesitation. No one had ever returned after investigating the mysterious disappearances near the labyrinth ruins. Hearing this chilling tale, Arya turned to Anna, asking for every detail she knew about the case. Vulcan, the blacksmith, was concerned about the young elf's eagerness to resolve. Seeing her friends resolve Vulcan situation, Arya and Vulcan would likely be recruited by some organization. Just then, a young man in a tunic entered the guild hall, his presence drawing attention. He introduced himself as Cedric Ruin. When he revealed his, to assure him to remind her to refrain from such displays in public. Enchanted by the romantic tension, Arya asked if they were a couple. Vulcan nodded, a detail that left Arya unsure of how to respond. Meanwhile, Tama, Arya's feline companion, quietly observed. Later that evening, back at home, Arya appeared anxious about the upcoming journey. Tama tried to comfort her, licking her cheek in an attempt. The man with silver hair was Danning. The humanoid monster was Howard. The red-haired Arya introduced Tama, and everyone was instantly charmed by the kitten. Moretta even carried him in her arms as if he were a prized treasure. Their journey was soon interrupted when their carriage was halted by a band of orcs blocking the road. Cedric tasked Danning with handling the situation. Without hesitation, Danning stepped forward, his blade flashing as he and a previous team sent to investigate had not returned. Just the night before, another young girl had disappeared. The weight of these tragedies reminded Arya of the devastation her homeland had once faced. Over dinner, for her sister's medical treatments, while Moretta's goal was to free her father from slavery. The stories were somber, but the group bore their hardships with pride, having overcome their struggles to become who they were. As the night deepened, the adventurers continued their journey into the labyrinth. They were unaware of the creature watching their every move. The labyrinth's lord, Barl Astaroth, a survivor of the demons defeated during the Ragnarok War. The group faced a series of monstrous foes, including a pack of sea wolves. Howard, the tank, used his skills to draw the wolves' attention while the others displayed their remarkable combat prowess. Even Tama joined the fray, surprising everyone by unleashing elemental attacks. His flames burned with such intensity that the sea wolves couldn't regenerate, leaving his comrades in awe. As they pressed deeper into the labyrinth, the oppressive aura of the place grew stronger. Eventually, the labyrinth's master revealed himself. Astaroth declared that their journey would end here, summoning an army of trolls to attack. Cedric, wielding dark magic reminiscent of the Grand Mage, cut through the trolls with ease. Tama, facing his own battle, hesitated to evolve into his true form, an elemental behemoth, knowing he might lose his bond with Arya. Instead, he relied on his current powers to defeat the trolls. Despite their victories, Astaroth proved to be a formidable foe. In a climactic battle, Arya managed to wound him using a glowing blade that amplified its damage. However, Astaroth struck back with a poisoned dagger, leaving Arya gravely injured. As the demon dissolved into the air, he vowed that humanity would fall when true power returned. Back in the village, the group learned that Arya had been poisoned with dragon venom. The only way to save her was to retrieve the eye of an earth dragon. With time running out, Tama decided to act alone. He flew to the ruins where he had once reincarnated as odds. He vowed to defeat the beast, even if it cost him everything. Faced with the dragon, Tama made the ultimate choice, to evolve into his true form, and that's where episode 1 ends. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and watch our best videos. Takumi is unexpectedly summoned to another world, finding himself standing before the goddess Nolan. However, the first thing she does is apologize sincerely, explaining that it was all a huge mistake. When the summoning spell is cast, it randomly selects individuals from Earth to become heroes in the new world. Takumi's life had been—
He's kicked out of the heroes party for being useless, but it turns out he has SSS-ranked skills in everything except fighting. Kurt is a 15-year-old boy from a remote village hidden deep within the mountains. A place so isolated that no one has ever heard of it. Ever since childhood, he dreamt of becoming an adventurer. So, with hope in his heart, he traveled to the city and somehow managed to join an S-rank adventurer party. However, he was accepted only as their errand boy. While the other members of the party battled powerful monsters, Kurt was so weak that he would get knocked out before the fight even began. Despite this, he took great pride in being part of a party that the world hailed as heroes. That pride shattered one day when the party members told him he was fired. Kurt was stunned to hear the news and asked what he had done wrong. The party leader coldly replied that Kurt hadn't done anything, and that was the problem. According to the laws of the world, an adventurer party can only have 4 members. They needed to make room for a high-ranking mage who could actually contribute. Kurt begged to stay, but instead of compassion, he was kicked in the stomach and knocked unconscious. When he came to, he realized he was now living the cliché story of the loser thrown out of the hero's party. But instead of wallowing in misery, Kurt picked himself up and headed to the next city. He visited a temp agency to look for work. As soon as he entered, a bubbly receptionist greeted him and launched into an impromptu job interview. She was shocked to learn he had just been fired from the party that had recently been promoted to SS rank. Kurt became depressed while talking about it, but the receptionist tried to cheer him up, saying that working with an SS rank party would actually look impressive